Welcome back to Your Arts. Thanks again for joining me. Okay, today I've got a little test for you, just covering the numbers we've already done in this 160 range and including 170. There are going to be 5 numbers for you today. So let's get in with that. See if you've been doing your homework. So as I've just mentioned, there's only 5 checkouts to cover today. So this example is not going to be one of them. I don't want to make it easy for you. So I'm going to show you kind of what I expect you to be saying, and we're going to be covering 157. All right. So you're going to get 14 seconds, which might seem a lot. I did start initially with 8 seconds, and you're going to realize that's just not enough, because there's a very specific way I want you to kind of state this finish. So we can start that bar going and finish that. Okay, but you're going to get 14 seconds. So this is a kind of way you want to be doing it. Treble 20, leaving 97. Okay, now surely hopefully you've seen the videos in this series so far. But again, to reveal 97, all I'm doing here, because I'm throwing treble 20, add 40 on to 57. So it might seem scary, but it's not. It's treble 20, leaving 97. And then you would state, that's one dart, okay? Then you would state what 97 is, treble 19, double 20. If you hit the big 19, it would leave 78. Okay, so that's your second dart, all right? But you've hit your single 19, you've left 78, and then you state what 78 is. 78 is treble 18, double 12. If hitting the single 18 would leave 60 when you return. And that's the kind of process. State the finish, and if there's a treble and you have to state the answer, what it's going to be. Okay, I call it the miss rule. Missing the treble, hitting the big number. Anyway, good luck. Number 161. Okay, so treble 20, leaving 101. Treble 17 ball. If you hit the big 17, it would leave 84. Got one dot left, so you state what you're going to do with 84. 84 is treble 20, double 12. Hit the single 20 would leave 64 when you return. Now there is, if you know any alternatives to any of these finishes, I only expect you to say one, but if you know more, by all means say them if you've got the time. But another way to take out 84, treble 16 for double 18. Single 16 would leave 68. I don't think a lot of people know that route, but it is a valid route, especially if you like the double 18s. Number 170. Now you may already know this finish, but break it down dart by dart. Okay, so treble 20, leaving 110. Again, just adding 40 onto 70. 110, state 110, treble 20 bull. If you hit the single 20, you leave 90. You've got one dart left, so you state how you would do that. Treble 20 for double 15, okay? But if you hit the single 20, it would leave 70 when you return. And another way to take out 90, treble 18 for double 18, hitting the single 18 would leave 72. One, 6, 7. Okay, so treble 20, leaving 107. Just add that 40 onto 67. Okay, state your 107, treble 19 bull. Hitting the single 19 would leave 88. 88 is treble 20, double 14. A single 20 would leave 68 when you return. And of course, 88 can be, as we've just mentioned, treble 16. We haven't mentioned it, we are now. Treble 16 for double 20, treble 16, 48, right? And double 20 is 40, so 88. A single 16 would leave 72 when you return. Number 161. Okay, so again, just adding 40 onto 61. So treble 20, leaving 101. Treble 17 bull. If you hit single 17, it leaves 84. You've got one dart left. State your 84. Treble 20, double 12. A single 20 would leave 64. Okay, another way to take out 84. Treble 16, double 18. We have covered that. Single 16 would leave 68 when you return. And finally, 164. Let's do opening trebles on this one. Which one will you use? Okay, so treble 19 leaving 107. All we've done here, when we throw in treble 19, we add 43 on, not 40. Okay, this is just until you get it and you know the finishes. But if you find it hard, just add 40 onto 64, so 104, and add that 3 more on just before you say it out loud or think to yourself, and that's 107, isn't it? So treble 19 leaving 107, treble 19 bull. If you hit the single 19, it will leave 88. You've got one dart left at 88. Treble 20 double 14. A single 20 would leave 68. Another alternative we've already covered. Oh, we haven't done the 88. We've already covered that. But you can go the treble 20 route, which is absolutely one of my favourite ways, really, because I like starting with treble 20. Okay. But treble 20 leaving 104. So there you just added your 40 onto 64 there. Leaving 104, treble 18 bull. A single 18 would leave 86 when you return. Then 86 is treble 18 for double 16, and a single 18 would leave 68. So remember, we're stating the answer when we hit the treble, okay? But we're also ready with a knowledge if we miss that treble and hit the big number, okay? The miss rule. I've affectionately called it the miss rule. It deserves a title. We need to be doing this regular when we're practicing. Okay, so there's quite a lot to go through when we're going through that kind of way. I want you to say it, the little story, okay, adding this misroll. But I think it's like fluent for me now. I know it when I go to a shot. I know what it is, and I know what it's going to be if I hit the big number. So I'm not stopping. Just like you see the pros, they're always moving around the dartboard, and sometimes they'll back off and step away, look at the marker, and they'll tell you what's left. Okay, that happens to everyone. But when you're warmed up and you get decent at this game, if you're not hitting the treble, hopefully you're going to hit the big number, and this way of practicing will get you ready for that. Okay, anyway, I hope you did really well. If you got anything from that test, please tickle that algorithm for me. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Take care for now. So one final thing before I go, videos coming. I'm going to be continuing this journey 170 down. I'll also be throwing out this test on the 150 range that we're getting through. We're soon at the end of that. I'll try and post at least twice a week for you. Try and learn them slowly. Okay, that's why I only give you 2 at a time. And finally, I've got a few tips and tricks that I've been helping a few people with to help them throw straighter. And I think you might get something from it. For let's face it, when we're throwing, we want to at least be hitting this 20 segment. Okay, obviously we want to hit that treble 20, but let's break it down. We want to hit that 20 segment, and how often then do we follow it up with either 2 1s or 5 and a 1 or something stupid like that? So little tips and tricks to maybe help you avoid that. Okay, that's coming. Thanks so much. Take care for now. Bye bye.